Hi guys, Alex here. Welcome back to Girl Talk. I've got a little bit of mess and a little bit of drama today for you guys. For today's video, we are going to go ahead and do a Shantopoulos world update. Everything has changed. Again. We will be discussing Chantal's final moments in Canada leading up to her inevitable return to Kuwait, or as she is making it seem, her return to Salah. But people are done having this man shoved in their face. Should we just edit him out? Especially after the whole scandal, it does seem as though she is finally taking him out of the closet, no pun intended, and putting him front and center once again. It's been about 4 months since the scandal rocked the community, and now she's headed back without adequate access to care, returning to the prison of her own making, that disaster of an apartment. But does anyone feel bad? I don't think so. My question is, what happens next? All that and more coming up on today's edition of Girl Talk. Let's just get right into it. Shall we? All right, you guys, welcome aboard the one-way flight to Shantopoulos. Please keep all your CPAP machines under the seat and don't forget to fasten your seatbelt extenders. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. So the last time we checked in with Chantal was Sunday night. She was purchasing bags and bags of cheese at a market in Canada, which was just what she needed, just what the doctor ordered, the pick-me-up of the century. But overall, these past couple of weeks have been a blur, a stressful, surreal blur. She was supposed to return to Canada to get her groove back, her health back on track. And she even convinced people that she was going to get an apartment. You know, she was going to stay a while, at one point citing at least a year. Instead, what we got was a health scare, multiple junk food mukbangs, and some of the worst vlogs that I have ever witnessed in my entire life. Chantal has been keeping things somewhat on the DL in regards to her return to Kuwait. She did say previously that she was going to stay until Mother's Day, which is on May 12th. Oh geez, it's Mother's Day already. Her last video in Canada was her walking around a supposedly haunted historical park. It sounds like it could be a good idea for a vlog. Not. This is Chantal we are talking about. I do have to say, regardless of how you feel about Salah, it's so much better when he's filming because you really get to see the cringe of it all. And you can see her walking around, interacting with things. It's almost alien. Otherwise, I would have no interest in this type of video from her, and neither does anyone else, unfortunately. What do y'all think about this whole Kuwait versus Canada debate type style? People were looking forward to this return to Canada as being a fresh start, but it completely flopped. And people were saying that somehow the videos in Canada this time were actually worse than the videos she was doing in Kuwait. What do you guys think about that? It has a lot to do with expectation. People were expecting, although everyone was skeptical, that this was a move back to Canada, a semi-permanent move back. But of course, that requires dealing with a certain level of discomfort that Foodie is simply not willing to deal with. Essentially, Foodie has completely crushed our dreams. She was going to have to pick up the pieces and rebuild her life from scratch. Salah robbed us of what could have been a really good arc. So it's back to Kuwait. So let's discuss. There are 3 pieces of content from what Salah and her are calling Kuwait Season 3. Barf. She did put up one video on the couples channel. Yeah, that one. I thought it was done too. Canceled because of Salah's infidelity mid-season. But no, she put up a trailer. That's not really a trailer because it's all old content. I guess you could say it was more of a teaser. In the video, it says a new arc is upon us. Yeah, girl, one that nobody asked for. Even the Beezers, the hardcore Beezers, are not happy about this return to Kuwait. It just doesn't make any sense for someone in her condition. I have seen a lot of people talking on Twitter saying that they are done with Foodie Beauty because they're not going to put up with her shoving Salah in their face once again. Not after the things that came out in December. It was bad. Do we need a refresher? I don't think so. I guess I see it a different way. I mean, Salah gives me the straight up ick. I have to say, it's hard to even look at him again, even 4 months after the fact, knowing the things that he partakes in behind the scenes or at least fantasizes about partaking in. That being said, I don't see bringing him back online as the end of Chantal. It's actually very typical of Chantal. Forget about what happened. In fact, it never happened. Why are you bringing it up? Blocked. I'm just surprised that this faux marriage is actually still going. Foodie confirms in a recent video titled, "I traveled 20 hours from Canada to Kuwait," that she is indeed in Kuwait, unfortunately. This video was cringe to the extreme. I've seen better acting on TikTok.
Home sweet home.
I miss you.
Me too, a lot.
Get it together, Salah. You're bringing down the vlogs. No wonder people are done. Anyways, the vlog begins with her at her mom's house. I guess she had to wait until she left before she could post any footage in her mom's home, even though you can't really see anything anyway. It's so obvious that she bought her plane ticket as soon as she was paid on the 22nd and booked it out of there as fast as she could. It lined up, girl. The calendar don't lie. And just 24 hours ago, people on Twitter could swear they saw her in the reflection of Natter's sunglasses. But it was all an illusion. Remember when people caught her in the reflection of a metal grill that Natter was cooking on? Good times. With the 2 minutes of bird and dog footage in this vlog, it's safe to say that she was struggling for content in Canada. I mean, she's much better off in Kuwait when she can just order food and eat it off the floor for content. That's kind of part of her problem. She wants to make money, she wants to get paid, but she doesn't have the motivation to put out something different other than a mukbang video. She did these sort of vlogs in Canada, right? Because she could only film the mukbangs in her car, although she used to be known for that, filming mukbangs in her car. Why didn't we get a 12 a.m. Arby's run for old time's sake? Next, the video cuts to Chantal in the airport, eating a cheeseburger with unlimited gravy. No mashed potatoes this time, just gravy. You know what though, guys? Let's look on the bright side when it comes to this Kuwait arc. Things could get interesting. Like, how is she gonna deal with this insufferable heat in Kuwait? She's stuck there all summer this time. With her mobility causing people to make videos titled "Foodie Beauty Can Barely Move," well, let's just say things don't look so great for the Queen of Mean. And just like that, there's another cut, and she's back in the Middle East, claiming she missed it so much. She just loves it so much more than that crappy, evil, horrible pawn of the US, Canada. Salah films her getting off the plane, and it's very reminiscent of the first time she went to Kuwait. What a love story, folks. They awkwardly exchange pleasantries. I miss you.
I miss you.
See, this is what I said. We need Salah to hold the camera for the best footage. She hands off the luggage cart to Salah and they begin the walk to the car. She's beet red, some say purple, let me know, and complaining about the heat already. She can barely walk, guys, and she just got there. I know it was a long day of travel, but she just sat down for hours on an empty plane. Very scary stuff. Not exactly what I would call the picture of health. I guess those couple of appointments she had in Canada didn't exactly go according to plan. I mean, what did she expect? An Ozempic prescription and a pat on the back? She's back doing Kuwait tings. And by Kuwait tings, I mean she just went live in Kuwait, sitting in the living room on a computer chair, eating and complaining. Some things never change. But despite what Foodie thinks or says, the problem is her and will forever remain her. It doesn't matter if she's in Canada or Kuwait. Nothing will change in regards to her health because Foodie won't change. But I must say the outlook was better in Canada without this man, y'all, because what kind of life is this? What kind of married life is this? I feel like at this point she would be better off without this man because clearly he's not making matters better. Is it just her? Should I not put any blame on Salah? The problem is her, but I don't know. I also feel like he enables a lot of it too, because who in their right mind would put up with this? So she's on a live stream. This was today. She's struggling to get acclimated to the new climate, but she doesn't care. Even if her face is purple, as long as she has her food. Oh, and her man. Home is where the heart is, she says. After Salah sends her a goofy super chat, the home is nothing without you. Is he for real? I'm so conflicted at this point. It's going to be 2 years in the fall, and they've only broken up once for like 12 hours. No, twice. Yeah, they've only broken up twice. Publicly. Who knows what happened behind the scenes? She shows off these putrid looking nails, even though she isn't supposed to have them painted. Naughty, naughty. It wasn't that long ago that she was going to practice her way, and none of that really mattered. But alas, she changed her mind in regards to that. People on Twitter are discussing her supposed weigh-in. She claims to be about 350 now in this live stream, but I don't see anyone buying that. I mean, people didn't even believe it when she stepped on a doctor's scale. Picture this. She goes into detail in regards to her trip back to Kuwait. When she was going to catch the bus, it arrived on the other side of the street, and she had to basically play Frogger with her own life as the cars were beeping. It doesn't even seem plausible. At least make these little stories believable. I can't help but think, my gut instinct is that this whole trip to Canada was some sort of failed grift. Did she expect the donations to come pouring in? Remember, like when she begged for money last week? If she got a lot, would she have stayed in Canada? No. It feels more like she had no intention of staying the whole time. And it was just an impulsive decision to go back in the first place. Someone asked her if she got Salah anything like a souvenir or, a gift from her trip. Her eyes get shifty. I got him a few things. Now, girl, she's really shoving it in on the live stream. This is where she wants to be. And now I think I actually believe that. Not because she loves the Middle East. No. It's because she can't stand living with her family. In Kuwait, she can eat and eat and eat, and nobody cares enough to judge. Looking at you, Salah. Also, she can get mega portions for cheap. She says that Salah doesn't yell at her, but he sometimes tells her to hurry up. I can't imagine why. How long can he drag around this ball and chain? It's giving ALR and wifey breakup type style. She admits that she felt a little bit out of place in Canada, but says that there was no discrimination based on her hijab. People stare at her, but she can't decide if it's because of her hijab or because she's big. Not so horrible, is it, huh? The Western world. How long until she does say that she's going back to Canada? I can tell you this up front, though. I'm not going to entertain for a second that she's going to stay in Canada the next time that she says she's going to. This is the second time that she has done this. In the end of 2023, the trip where Salah cheated, that was supposed to be her staying in Canada to get her health together. And it never came to fruition. She went right back to Kuwait. Now this time, she was going to stay in Canada and get an apartment and get her health together. Never happened. She went right back to Kuwait. It really makes me question how genuine she even was in the beginning, talking about these trips and saying she was going to stay. Was it all just fake? What about Salah? How long is he going to stick around? And what are they going to do this summer? She already says that travel's not in the cards, at least for right now, because she can barely do it. And she admits as such on the live stream. So what do you think about Salah being back? Are you done with Foodie Beauty because you don't want to see this man anymore? The interesting thing about the Foodieverse is anything could happen at any time. Something could happen this week that sends her right on back to Canada like a boomerang. Now that we are like 1.5 years into this relationship, what are Salah's intentions? We've seen him stick around. Part of me suspects that he wants her in Kuwait. But then again, when she left, he was talking to other women. Does he want to have his cake and eat it too, for her to be in Canada and help him pay the bills? Well, that's not going to work out because as y'all can see, our girl is so impulsive. Are people going to quickly lose interest and be done because she's back in Kuwait? She thought that going back to Canada would bring a boost to her channel, and in the end, it really didn't. It all kind of backfired against her. She went to a couple of appointments, caught up with her family, and said peace out. She couldn't even stay for Mother's Day. I'm sure she did promise her mom she would, but that's Foodie. It's all about me. Me, 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 me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and I will, of course, catch you guys in the next one. All right. Bye, everyone.